Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Nort, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I have something super exciting to show you guys, because we are going to take a look at the absolute bottom of the ocean in GTA 5. And I'm actually really excited to show you guys the result of this, because as the majority of us have probably tried this already, when you do get to the bottom of the ocean, there are actually death barriers set in place, as well as loads of other really frustrating restrictions, which will prevent you guys from basically getting to the bottom of the ocean. So what we have done in today's episode is actually removed those restrictions by using mods. Now I will leave a link to some of the mods in the description below, so if you guys want to go and check them out and maybe get them for yourself, then of course you guys can. It's super easy to install, but we're going to be using them to make our vehicle and our character both invincible, so we can just keep plowing through the ocean until we get to the absolute bottom of the ocean. So this is super exciting. We're actually going to be confirming one of the most curious questions in today's episode, and this is kind of like a part 2 to a video I did last week in which we flew to the absolute end of GTA 5, where we basically got into a jet and we flew into the horizon, and we removed all of the boundaries and restrictions, and the result is pretty cool. Now I will leave a link to that video at the end of this episode, so you guys can check that out if you want to, but the support you guys left on that video was crazy. We actually smashed 5,000 likes on that episode, so if we could get 5,000 likes again on today's video, then that will just be insane, and you guys will just be the best. Anyway, just a few seconds before I get into this, I just want to quickly let you guys know I am on Snapchat, and for about a year I have had my Snapchat link in the description of all of my videos, and I haven't actually shouted it out in a video, so I thought I may as well just leave it there. I am pretty active on it. You do see me post stories and stuff like that, so if you want to add me on Snapchat, you totally can do. There is a link in the description which will take you to my Snapchat page, so feel free to add me on Snapchat, guys. Anyway, let's get straight into the episode, and to start things off, this is the mod menu I am using, and some of you guys might be complaining I'm using mods. Well, if you don't use mods, guys, you can't actually do this, because without mods, I can't make my character and my vehicle invincible. Now, I just want to quickly throw out there a small observation I made when I was doing this, is that the restrictions are surprisingly higher than I thought. It means you can't really go as deep as you want to without using these mods, which really did surprise me because I haven't been to the bottom of the ocean for a while. But as I was doing this, when the restriction notes started to kick in, I was thinking, no, this is way too early, but they're actually pretty high up, so I'm pretty surprised Rockstar Games did that. And another observation I made is that there's no boundaries in the ocean. Theoretically, you can just keep going as long as you wanted to. If your body died and you started to sink in the ocean, your body could theoretically keep going down to the bottom of the ocean, along with a shipwreck or any sort of blown up jet or anything like that. It could theoretically go to the absolute bottom beyond any sort of restriction and boundary. And the reason why I made this kind of observation is because I actually tried to install a no boundaries mod. This is something which I had in my previous video, which basically allowed me to get to the absolute end of GTA 5 without hitting any sort of invisible wall or boundary or anything else like that. But what I realized is that after doing this test in the ocean, there's no invisible barrier. And to give you guys a small example of what an invisible barrier would be, let's say you see a plane crash into the sea, and the plane continues to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and then suddenly it stops. And then let's say, for example, you are able to see this plane wreck in the ocean, but because it's just stopped in midair, it would have most likely stopped on an invisible barrier. This is basically an invisible floor, which I expected Rockstar Games would implement into the ocean, but they haven't, guys. There is no invisible barrier in the ocean, which is crazy, so you can technically just explore as long as you wanted to and go as deep as you wanted to. Anyway, as you can see, I have just got these notes. I've just got these little observation things saying danger, and it looks like my vehicle is just about to die out, but because I do have vehicle invincibility, I thought that, you know what, my Kraken won't blow up. It's got invincibility on. No way will it blow up using this mod. But as I decided to go out further and further and further, something really did surprise me, and this is that my Kraken did actually explode. As you can see right here, it broke. And then just when it hits the ocean floor, it lights up again, which is really, really interesting. I wasn't expecting that. as you can see, it's lit back up, but although the fans are turning, although I can still control it, nothing happens. It won't turn, it won't go up, it won't go down, it won't do anything. So it's kind of like the ocean has got a hold over my Kraken, which is really, really strange. As you can see, I've got invincibility on. I'm trying to see if I can fix the vehicle or anything, but I can't. It's just basically being held by nothing, which is really, really strange. Something I really wasn't expecting, but as you can see, the ocean floor will keep going on. It looks like it's getting deeper and deeper. And as you guys also saw, when my vehicle was destroyed, it still sunk a little bit more, and this was beyond it was destroyed, so this is basically under the restriction. So as you can see, the ocean does level down into what looks like an even deeper ocean, so I decided to try something else out, and this is actually flying out to a really far distance in the ocean, where the ocean bed would basically be as deep as possible if I were to fly directly down to it, and then I'm going to spawn a Kraken, and then I'm going to try and get the absolute bottom of the deepest part of the ocean. So let's give this a try. So when I first tried this out, I came across something extremely interesting. As you can see, I am nowhere near to be seen to the actual map. I believe it's just faded off into the distance, and I decided to jump out of my jet. And then because I'm so far out, it wouldn't actually let me spawn in any other vehicle. So when I did hit into the ocean, I couldn't spawn in my Kraken. Now, this is actually a restricted zone. This is beyond the boundaries in the sky. So if you were to try and get this far out without using mods, it would be impossible. You have to use mods to get this far out. So this is kind of like an invisible part of the ocean, which you can't physically get to, and even if you could, your vehicles wouldn't get there with you because you're not allowed to spawn in vehicles in this kind of section of the ocean. So I decided, you know what, we're going to go a little bit closer to the island, so this is exactly what we do. So now we're a little bit closer. I've just spawned in my Kraken. As you can see, we're quite far out anyway. You can just about see San Andreas as well, so this is extremely far out, and I've spawned in my submarine. Now what I decide to do is try and go down, and this is actually quite a challenge because it keeps going around in spirals as if the Kraken itself is pushing itself back up to the top of the ocean, which is really strange. You don't really see this when you're going around the actual ocean around the map, but when you go so far out, the Kraken will actually try and spiral to the top, so it's automatically lifted to the top of the ocean, which is really interesting. So I actually had to fight to get the Kraken to go deeper and deeper and deeper. It's not difficult to do this, it's just a little bit of a struggle. So this is once again another observation I made. When you do go so far out, the Kraken will automatically lift itself to the top of the ocean, which is extremely interesting to see how Rockstar Games have designed this as if they don't want you to get to the bottom of the ocean, as if they're hiding something, or as if they just physically don't want you to get there. Anyway, I managed to get through this, and although it's kind of a struggle, it didn't take me long to do anyway. As you can see, I'm already approaching crushing depth, and now as you can see, my engine is closing off. So at this point, we're nowhere near the ocean bed, so I expected myself just to keep kind of falling down, and at first I was thinking, oh yes, this is it, we're gonna fall down to the ocean bed. But then as I started thinking to myself, I started to see things that I didn't even think were happening. For example, as I was looking up, I thought we were getting deeper and deeper as things were getting darker, but then the more I looked at it, nothing was actually happening. Although it looked like my Kraken was sinking, it's not actually doing anything. It's just spiraling around in circles and circles and circles, which is extremely interesting because even if you do get some sort of wreckage, or if you sit in it, or if your plane blows up, and if you just try and sink to the bottom of the ocean, nothing will happen. Your vehicle, your plane, your wreckage, it will just spin around in circles. And the reason why I knew this is because when I put my radar on, I looked at the miles deep kind of counter you can see on the left-hand corner. And in the bottom left corner, you can see we're 0.15, 0.16 miles deep. It will keep changing from one to the other per spin, and this is simply down to how deep we are. It won't change at all. So this proves to us that we're staying in the exact same place. So right now, I am in the absolute bottom of the ocean, and there is no seabed. So using this logic, there isn't a bottom to the ocean, or at least if there was, I'm at the bottom of the ocean right now. And as you can see, can we see anything? Absolutely not. All I can see is pitch blackness and where the light would enter into the ocean. Underneath me there's nothing, around me there's nothing, and we're at the deepest part anyone can physically get. So what I decided to do is actually get out of the Kraken, and it actually teleported me back to the map, which is insane. So you can't even swim around in this. Even when I'm using mods, even when I've removed all of the boundaries, you physically can't swim. And I tried to do this again. I'm using no-clip mode as well. I just go straight to the bottom of the ocean in no-clip just to double check this is a thing, and it really is a thing. Whenever you get beyond the barrier, whenever you get beyond the crushing barrier, the death barrier, it will just teleport you back up. Now, this won't happen in the game. If you are using GTA 5 without mods, then it will kill you before you can hit this teleporting barrier. But if you are using mods and if your character can't die, you will hit the barrier as it's just slightly deeper beyond the death barrier, which the majority of players would hit. So the absolute bottom of the ocean is nothing. There's no bottom of the ocean, and even if you do get that deep, Rockstar Games will just keep you in the same place or teleport your character back to the map. So I hope this video did answer your question, guys, and if it did, please don't leave without smashing that like button, as it would be greatly appreciated, and feel free to subscribe to my channel as well so you won't miss out on any more GTA 5 content every single day. And feel free to check out my other video I did last week in which we got the horizon of GTA 5 to find out exactly what was at the end of GTA 5. That video is extremely interesting. I think you guys will enjoy it, and of course you can click it on the screen right now. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.